This means that where it was once supposed to be MK Leo versus Shiny Mark, it's actually going to be Tori Guri versus Shiny Mark. And I think Shiny Mark is definitely going to win that. There's no way you can lose the matchup of Pikachu versus Banjo and Kazooie as a Pikachu player. It's not possible, bro. Like, Tori Guri is going to get annihilated in that match. To call Port Priority 9 a shocking tournament would be an absolute understatement. This was the most insane tournament of all time, from start to finish. And with all good stories, you must start from the beginning. So let's go back. This tournament took place in Seattle, Washington. And to be honest, the tournament didn't have too many entrants, all things considered, about 500. However, it was super top heavy with many of the top 50 talent being in attendance, or really many of the top 100 or top 150 talent being in attendance at this event. However, a key detail is the fact that none of the top 5 were in attendance at this event, which essentially meant, since these 5 players have been dominating the meta so much, that there was probably going to be a brand new winner of this event, because there wasn't somebody clear who it seemed like was a majority favorite at this tournament. Another noteworthy detail was the fact that many Japanese players who have never been outside of their country were coming to the United States for the first time in order to play Smash Bros. For example, the Steve player Carmelo, or Mild, who is a Donkey Kong player who's just insane at this game. And it was really a shocker to see, because a lot of these players American talent hadn't even really heard of. For example, on Lights Out, they were kind of questioning Mild, like, how is this Donkey Kong seated so high? And a lot of the people were saying he should really be higher.
Can we talk about this random ass Japanese Donkey Kong player?
What?
Showing up?
Mild Naho?
Mild Naho? Yeah, I've never heard of him.
He should be higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
no,
nuts.
Oh, really?
You've never heard of him, Cosmo?
No.
That's one of my favorite Japanese
must have been
players right
super out the game then, because I've never
heard of this dude either.
Yeah, he won a major in Japan over Ken, I think.
One of these Japanese players is named Furara Ramen, who is a Japanese Isabelle player ranked number 90 on the world ranking for the most recent season. And unfortunately for me, I had to go up against this player within my round 1. In all fairness, I didn't really do as much as I maybe should have to prepare for this event, but you know, I was just busy working on videos and the like, and I didn't expect to beat this guy anyway. However, what I will say is I had a much closer set with him than not only I expected, but even with my second opponent in the bracket after I was defeated by him. And this caused me to say this. I think he doesn't have a lot of experience versus Cloud. For the rest of the day, I would say the bracket went pretty much as expected, but during my time walking around the venue, I witnessed something quite shocking. Yo, I think that Isabelle might have just gotten 1,000th place. Did you just beat that Isabelle?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Was that in losers?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. For what place?
129.
Oh no, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised he lost. I feel like he had no Cloud experience, bro. Ferrara Ramen, the Isabelle that had beaten me in the winner's side of bracket, and again is like the highest ranked Isabelle player in the world, was upset very early 2 times and actually lost to get 129th place. A massive upset after flying all the way here from Japan. And this was on day 1 of the tournament, which to me was a shocker, but in retrospect, it really set the tone for what this event was going to be like moving forward. Aside from the Ferrara Ramen upset, the bracket went pretty much as seeded, and I essentially just watched the players play, waited for the matches to finish, and then headed out of the venue. And before I went to bed, I uploaded a short of, you know, me interviewing some players and asking them what placement that they would get. We're here at Port Priority, and today we're going to be asking people what placement they're going to get. What placement are you going to get?
I think I'm gonna drop bulls. First. Okay. First. What placement do you think you're gonna get at this tournament?
First.
First, the GOAT. We already knew that.
And essentially I just did that, went to bed, and woke up the next morning for day 2, which I was very excited for. However, to my dismay, I kept seeing many comments blowing up my feed saying, MK Leo, no. And I was thinking, what does that mean? And I'm not gonna lie, I got a pit in my stomach at this point. I began scrolling through the bracket, and I can't find him. And then surely enough, I do. He's been defeated early. Not just in winners, but in losers as well. This was heartbreaking to see. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. I thought maybe the site was glitched, but it was true. And I fear I may have cursed him with my video. Not only was this not seeded at all, but also Tweak and Syrup, who were both top seeds as well at this event, were in losers bracket before I had even gotten to the venue for day 2. So everything was just seeming to go awry, and I was completely mind blown, really. This is not to mention the fact that on my way there, I'm looking at the bracket and I see that Light is seeded into Sin, the Japanese Ice Climbers player, which if you don't know, Ice Climbers does super well versus Fox, and this is the same player who defeated Tweak in the winner's side of bracket. So, I mean, it was not looking good. At this point, it seems like chaos is running rampant and nothing is going according to plan. I mean, I knew this was going to be a tough tournament when I got knocked out so early, but I didn't know it was going to be this crazy. At this point, we would go on to see Tweak be sadly defeated in the loser side of bracket by Toon, and it was looking like all hope was lost, to be honest. In my predictions video, I had predicted a lot about this tournament, but I couldn't have predicted this at all. Not only that, but when I checked Light's match against Sin, he was down 2 games. So I felt like it was pretty clear how this was going to go. At this point in top 32, we had 2 Corins, a Donkey Kong, a Me Gunner, and Banjo and Kazooie. This was like the most weird tournament of all time. Light was still somehow kicking after miraculously reverse 3-0ing Sin in one of the most difficult matchups of all time, but he would have to go against a player who I predicted he would lose against, Zomba, who he's lost his last 5 games to in a row.
Low, hoping for the side B in, I think, but it doesn't matter what. Find it. There it is, though. Dash attack up there, the thought. Stay alive, but parry up smash. We have not seen that up smash.
Afterward, Light made swift work of him, and he had this to say. Alright, y'all. We are here with...
What's good? It's Light.
Light himself, Shopify Rebellion's very own.
Yes, sir.
And we just got to see Light not only take out Zomba, but also make the craziest reverse 3-0 of all time on Sin, was that his name? The Japanese
Ices.
Holy cow. In Fox versus Ice Climbers, mind you. Like this is like an unwinnable matchup. I know we're gonna hear about that on Lights Out. But my main question is, what do you think of kind of the state of this event? Because there have been upsets left and right. Like, did you see what happened with Leo?
Yeah, he got out like 65th or something.
That's just crazy. I think that's his worst placement ever.
Yeah, I would believe it.
So, like,
never placed that low.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think of, like, why is this happening?
I just think there was a big break in America. You know, like, there was a lot of Japanese events going on, but there was a big break for everyone in like this side of the country, except for like Mexico. They had like smaller tournaments.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone's coming back. I think it's going to take some time for people to get into it.
That's true.
And Tweak had a rough bracket. I mean, so did I.
Yeah.
The Ice Climbers.
I mean,
it's just
some bracket rigging, really.
No, I mean, it's weird. Every time Ice Climbers comes to America, they just get the God bracket.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know. Sometimes stuff like this happens. I know the Steve Bains were interested. They were like upset. They were like, "Oh, we're all on the same side of bracket. We're gonna beat each other." They all lost to different people.
I know. They didn't make it to each other.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting bracket.
I know.
I'm in front. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you play. But thank you so much for your time, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
These low tiers were making some of the most insane runs at this tournament. And, you know, as Light was saying, it's really hard to be consistent in this game. But it's just so volatile to see. The fact that we're seeing players like Mild, the Donkey Kong, defeating Gorioka in Donkey Kong versus Joker was so crazy to me. Or even more insane, him defeating Mr. Game & Watch in the form of Monty. Like, even the fact that he was bringing it to Game 5 versus players like Carmelo or versus players like Louis Money was so wild, and the crowd was completely on his side. And
Dang, man. Miles said, you... DK.
And it was the same with players like Tori Guri, who, I mean, was just going on the craziest run. Nobody really expected him to make it this far, including me. I did not expect Louis Money to be defeated by Banjo and Kazooie. I mean, he beat Louis Money on Palutena versus Banjo, and he also was able to defeat Shiny Mark in a matchup that I thought would be impossible. And he just made it look easy, to be honest. We would have long-awaited battles like Shadic versus Reno, which, you know, in my prediction I said, so Reno is not beating Shadic. He's not beating Shadic, though. He's not doing it. However, some of you guys were very confident that I was wrong. And actually, not only did Shadic defeat Reno and make him even switch to Greninja, which I've never seen him play in my entire life, but also when I talked with Shadic, he said that he saw the video of me saying that he would beat Reno, and he was glad that, you know, somebody was able to stick up for him there, and he obviously did make swift work of Reno. And this is what else he said after defeating Shiny Mark in the losers bracket. Alright, so we are here with
Shadic.
And you just got an insane victory over
Shiny Mark.
Shiny Mark. That was such a nail-biter set. I was really like, I was praying for you, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank
So
you. I'm
really glad that you pulled that through. The crowd was completely on your side there.
Oh,
So
wow, really.
what were you kind of feeling in that moment?
I think the thing that's on the top of my head right now is we actually had like a really close set, basically exactly like that. Town and City last year.
Yeah.
But he got it last time. I believe it was at Smash Factor X.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. What like did you figure out in this one?
This time, I mean, I went down 2-0, you know. It's a neutral is really important to know when to like back off and to know when to go in. It's like really difficult to like position this up properly.
Yeah.
But like I think just as I play, and that comes like in general to situations too, like I just get better like knowing where to be. I won. So.
Well, I mean, that was so impressive to see. We've been seeing a ton of upsets at this tournament. Obviously, Leo out at 65th, I think. Tweak out at 25th. Just heartbreaking. So, why do you think it's so volatile at this tournament specifically?
That's just how it is when it comes to Smash tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tweak, it's like its first tournament back.
Yeah, that one makes a lot of
sense.
sense.
Like, who else do this?
Ice Climbers.
Ice
Really bad
Climbers.
matchup.
Just the nature of the game. To,
Yeah.
Like, caught off guard by stuff.
It's hard to be consistent.
It's hard to be consistent. Like, truly, like you can't stress that enough. When it comes to being ready for everything at all times, unless you're playing a character that you know that's like really one-dimensional and kind of like the same thing no matter who you play against.
Yeah.
Well,
I wish you the best of luck. I don't want to hold you up too long, but I hope you do great in your upcoming matches. Good luck, bro. Now, if it is true that I did curse MK Leo somehow, then I must have blessed this player, Elijahman, because, you know, the day before he came on my stream and he was giving me the most props ever.
yeah, I gotta play now.
Good luck, man.
Are you on live on Twitch right now?
Yeah. You want to say hi?
Listen, y'all gotta subscribe to MohammedSSB on YouTube. You gotta sub to him on Twitch. You gotta show him all the love because this guy's putting in mad work and he's gonna be big one day. So listen, y'all are the day ones, and when he makes it big, he's gonna remember y'all. So y'all gotta make sure to subscribe, to like it, to show your support now. Because when he's big, bro, when he's big, you better not be coming back saying you're a day one and you got no comments or subs. Yeah, that's the thing.
And then at this tournament, he went absolutely insane, outplacing his seed by a lot and even defeating players like Icon, who, I mean, is a really great player, and he even outplaced his own seed. So it was just wild to see both of these players go off, and I feel somewhat responsible. Goryoka would then go on to take another unfortunate loss to Jagabata, the duck hunt player who I was completely unfamiliar with before this tournament. However, I've been so impressed with the run he went on, just destroying everybody in his path. I mean, making duck hunt look like a broken character when he can't be, right? Like, he can't really be that good, but he was beating so many people, it was crazy. By the time we were at top 8, we literally had me, Gunner, Donkey Kong, and Banjo and Kazooie in the top 8 of this bracket. You cannot make this stuff up. Before this tournament, I had made a prediction that the winner would be Sonics. Let's be real, Sonics is winning this tournament again. He won it last time. The one I went to back in 2023, I was there, I watched Sonics walk on that stage. I dapped him up, I took a photo with him right after he took the dub. You know, actually I think it was right before, so I didn't even know he was gonna win. I was just a cool guy like that. Sonics is going to be back-to-back champions, and you guys all doubted him. He won back in 2023, and he's bringing it back in the Big 2-5 to round out the Big 2-5. The last, like, big tournament like this in the Big 2-5 is gonna be won by Sonics. To be honest, I don't blame people for doubting me. Sonics has been in this grand finals position so many times, and yet not been able to close it. In fact, the last tournament where he was able to close it on the major stage was the last Port Priority back in 2023. And I witnessed that happening live, and I felt like that was going to happen again at this tournament. But it was clearly some rough things in his path, and to be honest, it was seeming like it may not happen. And people were really thinking like, this is the demon here. You know, maybe Sonics can win this tournament, but Light is definitely not who he wants to run into, a player with a winning record against him. And at one point, I don't think he had even lost a single set to him. So it was looking not so great for Sonics, and it became twice as bad once Sonics had gone down the first 2 games to 0. So at this point, I was thinking, okay, Sonics, pack it up. This might be Light's tournament to win.
So hard to do that against this character. Back air gonna as well. Oh,
got it in the corner. It ain't enough right here, but forward air most certainly will be.
Wow.
Sonics would eviscerate Light in a reverse 3-0, knocking him down to the loser's bracket and positioning himself in a very good spot, as he would have to go up against Carmelo, who Sonics typically does very well versus Steve. So this was definitely an advantageous position if you're Sonics. However, Light would now have to drop to the loser's bracket in order to fight against Louis Money, who luckily for him was a player he's never lost to before. But unluckily for him, he would get 3-stocked the first game. He clearly took this quite personally, because the beatdown he would go on to lay after this was unlike anything I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, this is the Light I know. Game number 1 was looking kind of silly.
Dana cannot hope to compare. No way that one kills.
It's going to become more of a thing here, but it's going to be the F smash that gets it done.
Toriguri would go on to be bound out by Zomba, as he would get his run unfortunately cut short, but still a 5th place finish, definitely going to be quite impressive for a Banjo and Kazooie player at this tournament. I think it's important to acknowledge all the memes around Toriguri at this event, because people were really clowning him. There was obviously the image of the 3-headed dragon, and you know, 2 of them are very serious, and it's Doramigi and it's Shiryuki, and then they're like, you know, the slow one is Toriguri. But Toriguri getting 5th at this event, I feel like if Shiryuki and Doramigi came, they might not even get that high. So I think that is really crazy, and you got to acknowledge that he plays Banjo. This was super impressive in my opinion, and he definitely has proven everybody who doubted him completely wrong. Sonics would swiftly and seemingly without any issue at all take the first 2 games off of Carmelo, and it was looking like it was going to be a 3-0. That's until Carmelo really turned up the gas, took the next game very clearly, and then would go on to get a massive lead going into the 4th game, and it was seeming like we were going to game 5. I mean, Carmelo was up a lot. There were about 40 seconds left in the 4th game, and it was looking like it would either go to time, or just because Sonics was such a high percent, he would get back aired or something, or hit by a minecart, and have this set go to a game 5 and maybe get reverse 3-0'd. And then this happened.
Oh my God! How the hell did he do that?
Sonics punched his way into the winner's side of Grand Finals. However, we've seen this movie many times before. The worst place that Sonics could get at this tournament now was second, but the most common place that Sonics has ever gotten at a tournament is second. Only time would tell, but we must now move to the loser's bracket. Zamba's set against Light had a bit of an odd start with this weird gyro sequence, but it would be pretty close. However, it would pretty much be the opposite of their winner's side set, with Zamba taking it 3-1 instead this time. And what's interesting is this is the exact same thing that happened the last 2 sets they played. And actually, Light was able to take it in the winner's side, but then in losers, Zamba took it back pretty fiercely. So I don't know what it is, if Light's just running out of gas in the losers bracket against Zamba, or if Zamba just figures it out in losers, but this would mean that Zamba would advance in order to fight Carmelo in this bracket. The first game, Zamba would come out the gate swinging, absolutely destroying Carmelo, and this was really kind of a tone setter because it was pretty clear that, okay, Zamba's probably going to 3-0 at this point. It doesn't look like Carmelo has any idea of what to do versus this character. Carmelo would go on to take the second game, and then in the third game, Zamba would have a massive start by just blowing Carmelo out of the water, and it was looking like it was going to be another clear Zamba W. But then Carmelo would slowly but surely chip away and actually take that game right back, and now he was up 2-1 on Zamba. Zamba would take the fourth game and eventually spiking Steve down to back where he came from, and now we have a Game 5 scenario to see who would make it into the grand finals. Zamba would then end the set as poetically as possible with the infamous Zombear to close it out and punch his way into the grand finals from the loser side in order to meet Sonics, the man who has been robbed of this opportunity, no pun intended, so many times, including against Zamba's Rob in Genesis. So the last time they fought in the grand finals of Genesis, Zamba took it over Sonics, and you know, he was kind of taunting him on the stage. Sonic said this:
"How do you think you will do versus Zamba next time?"
I'm gonna destroy him, like, straight up.
I mean, I believe, but like, I respect it a lot. Let's go.
Yeah, it's not gonna look good next time we play. I'll say that much.
So the whole crowd was waiting with bated breath to see how this set would really turn out. Would Sonics be able to finally do it, or would the prophecy kind of go as it always has? Zamba would take game 1 in a very close game, as he would use the rotor arms to cover the up B from low, and we were moving into game 2 with a Zamba 1-0 lead. EE would even point out this on commentary:
"I know it's just one game, but it does make you start to think a little bit."
Then, in the most poetic fashion, Zamba would do a dash forward sliding forward tilt, the right hook straight into Sonics' face, in order to close out that second game in the same way that he closed out Genesis. And at this point, people were starting to kind of be a bit worried when you're down 2 games. You know, I mean, TK said this:
"I'm starting to believe he does this on purpose."
Yeah, I mean,
Sonics would switch his skin from the black one to the blue one and swiftly take 2 games, tying the set up. So now we are going to a Game 5 grand finals to determine if Sonics would be able to do it or if he would choke once again, you know, and there was a lot riding on this. This was the last tournament that he had won, Port Priority 2023. So if he could do this and be the reigning champion and break his curse all in one, it would be so poetic, as well as defeat the person who took the Genesis championship away from him in the grand finals the last time they met. So this was a very, very important game, and it would determine a lot.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God!
Wait a minute, bro.
Close
It
your
might be
damn
on time.
book!
It might be on time.
Wow! Insane read right there from Sonics. The one more stop chance right now, filling the venue. We could be at the waning moments, TK, of Port Priority 9. is your damn champion.
And that was the tournament. I mean, it was really such a fun time. I had a great time there. I got to hang out with so many cool people, and the matches were sick. I mean, obviously I was heartbroken when my GOAT Leo lost and when Tweak lost, you know, but it was so cool to see Light reverse 3-0 that Ice Climbers. I mean, that was crazy. And my prediction was right about Sonics. And I have to address a couple things, bro, because first of all, so many people told me I was wrong saying Sonics would win that tournament. If you look at the comments, I'm going to put a couple on screen. I don't care. Boom, 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 boom. These are all people saying, no, you're crazy, bro. You could beat Sonics in grand finals. No, there's no world where Sonics wins in grand finals. Sonics will always get second until the day he dies, you know? Or like Sonics' biggest rival is winning. Like, bro, I got so many comments like this. You guys are all wrong. Okay, you're all wrong. Also, shout out that guy. Boom, here's your comment. This guy he said, bro, you really think that Shadic could beat Reno? Are you crazy? Shadic's actually 65 spots below Reno on the Lumi rank. Well, what do you got to say now, buddy? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then I also want to highlight this. Okay, so here we had EE saying, man, I lost my sponsorship. Essentially, he did the no war and bossing say meme. Then I said, you got to be on your best behavior report. Like, if you want to get sponsored, you got to be doing really well at that event. And then some guy, well, listen, buddy, if you think anybody's sponsoring Smash in 2025, then you're sadly mistaken. The next day, Tweak is signed to TSM. Like, you can't make this stuff up, bro. And it's like, bro, I try to reason with these people, but you gotta understand, I know more about this than you. But yeah, I mean, it was a great event. And Leo will be back, bro. He'll be back, I promise. I know people are like all trying to see my reaction. How sad am I about this? I'm not even that sad because I just know he'll be back. I know it, bro. I know it. Please, please. Please, please, please. Whatever you gotta do, bro. I don't care. You can pick up Steve. I'll root for you. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoy. Shout out to my level 2 member, Wally Winker. And please consider becoming a member because it really helps me out. And see ya.
そうですね。ここから実際まで結構イングリング側に。そうですね。